Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Ben Olson. That's Nathan Fox. We're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We had a couple listeners ask about how to or whether to address an employment gap. Here's one from Anonymous.
Okay, Anonymous says, 2 years ago, after teaching high school for 10 years, I decided to take a break from work so my husband and I could do fertility treatments and have a baby. I know many people continue to work while doing these things, but I had some health problems that made it worthwhile to take the time off, and now I am happily expecting. I've heard from others as well as on the podcast that time unemployed works against you on a law school application. Now that I'm preparing to apply, I'm wondering if I need to address the employment gap somehow, and if so, whether to write about it in an addendum, like maybe a character and fitness addendum, or to make space for it in a personal statement. I don't want to share overly personal information with schools, nor do I want to risk discrimination for being a parent, but schools will see the employment gap on my resume, and I'm afraid that not saying anything about it allows them to assume the worst about my time off of work. What would you recommend I do? Wow.
Interesting.
That's all going on inside Anonymous's head, right?
A lot of assumptions, and it isn't surprising, right? We live in a country that is obsessed with work.
Yeah.
You meet someone new and it's like, hey, what do you do? What do you do? Oh, that's cool or that's not cool. And one, I don't think schools are going to care about this gap as much as you think they will. They care vastly more about your LSAT and your GPA, your numbers.
And you're going to apply broadly so that even if one school weirdly sees that gap and has a problem with it, it's not going to matter because you got 9 other schools making you good offers. Who cares, right? We obviate tons of these little problems by just casting a wide net.
Also, if a school did ask, I would simply respond that you stopped work to be a parent. I don't think there's any problem with that. And if anyone does have a problem with that, well,
fuck them. You don't want to go to that school.
Yeah. That's why you apply broadly, so you can go somewhere else who doesn't care. Yeah.
It's a buyer's market. You know, for the applicants who do it our way, it's a buyer's market because you're going to apply broadly. You're going to see what offers you get. You're going to be excited about the offer that you accept. For people who do it the other way, you apply to just a couple schools and you're like hoping that they admit you. Our way is to apply broadly. Many schools will admit you. Many schools will give you scholarship offers. You get to decide what school is the right fit for the right price. And you really just don't have to worry about all this shit. I don't think that this addendum is appropriate in any kind of character and fitness optional essay.
It's not like a character and fitness issue. Yeah.
No.
There's nothing wrong with this.
No. Yeah. And it's also not a good topic for a personal statement.
No.
I suppose it could be mentioned as an aside in a personal statement, depending on what you were going to talk about in that personal statement. But you don't need to, if you think this is a weak part of your application, you don't need to point to it.
Yeah.
Many schools will, however, have a question that says something along the lines of, if there is more than a year or 2 gap on your employment experience, we want to hear about it. Just tell us why.
Yep. It's literally one sentence.
I took time off between 2009 and 2017 to be a parent.
Period. That's it.
Something like that, right?
Mic drop. Yeah.
I mean, it answers their question and it does so in an efficient manner.
And professional. Yeah.
In a way that gets you back to talking about the good elements of your application, of which I assume there are many. So yeah, answer the question, move on.
Great.
Speaking of that, email daily at lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.